Hello there guys, it's CoolFox over here, and today I bring you a review of the Meizu M3 Mini. Now let's first take a look around the box, and as you can see it's a pretty plain box with just some Chinese writing on the sides, and the most important part is the back. So you can take a look for yourself, and yes, I did blur out the IMEI numbers. Now this phone comes equipped with the MT6750 CPU, which is an octa-core CPU, and the Mali T860 GPU. It's got 2GB of RAM and 16GB of ROM. It also has a 5-inch 720p display. Now this should support 4G, but it doesn't work in every country, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Now it did come with these screen protectors, but you obviously have to peel them off because they have writing on them. Let's just put that to the side. And here is the SIM removal tool. So as you can see, it's actually pretty nice. So now let's take a look at the manual. But yeah, it's actually in Chinese, so you won't understand anything unless you're Chinese. Now let's take a look at the power brick. And yeah, it's actually pretty nice, and you'll need an adapter for this, as you can see. And it's got 1.5 amps out. It also comes with a micro USB cable, as you can see right here. And it's actually of pretty nice quality. Now let's take a look at the phone itself. Taking a look at the side, you can see the SIM card slot. And yes, you will need the SIM removal tool. You just push it in, and the tray will pop out. Now as you can see, it can take up to 2 nano SIM cards and 1 nano SIM card and an SD card, so you have to choose. Now this is a 5 megapixel front camera and the speaker, and you've got only one button. If you touch it, it goes back, and press it, it goes to the home menu. And on the bottom you've got the micro USB and one speaker, which is on the right side. This is a 13 megapixel camera with the flash underneath it, the Meizu logo, and yes, that's some other information. And as you can see, it says designed by Meizu. Now this is the boot up time. As you can see, these are all the languages that you can choose from, which there are plenty, but we will continue with English. And then you have to agree to the terms and statements, and if you want, you can connect it to the Wi-Fi, and yes, that's all there is. Now unlocking the phone, you can see that there are plenty of apps already installed, with Google Play one of them, and you've got an antivirus application, just kind of like Clean Master really. And you've got 2 applications that are pre-installed, which are 9apps and Yandex, but you can easily uninstall them. but you cannot uninstall the security and toolbox application, which is, I guess, not the best. Now let's take a look at the settings. As you can see, pretty normal, just with a different layout. And we'll go to about phone, and as you can see, storage there is 9.62 gigabytes available and total space of 14.56, and most of that is taken up by the system, which is taking up 3.98 gigabytes. And yes, opening the cleaner, it takes you to the antivirus app, which, as I said, it's kind of like Clean Master really. As you can see right there. But as I said, you cannot uninstall it. Now taking a look at the Toolbox app. Plenty of stuff that you can use, for example the compass here, as you can see, and it actually works. And yes, you will have to calibrate it. Now doing that, you will get to the recent apps, and you can press up there to clean all of the apps open. Going to the language and time, you can see that you can choose between the time zones just like any other phone. But actually you will have to connect it to the internet to get the right time, because as you can see up there, it said that it's 5:04, but when I connected it to the internet, it corrected itself and came to 6:04. But now let's take a look at the camera app, and as you can see, it's got pretty normal stuff as well. You can turn off the location, and these are the photo sizes. So the only 16:9 is 3 megapixel, and the only 16:9 on the front camera is 2 megapixels, so you'll have to deal with those. Now let's take a look at the features, and you can also record GIFs and slow motion, which is not really that good. Now these are some tests, as you can see right here, and there will also be some video tests, so I will leave you to those guys. This is a backwards facing video test. This is a front-facing video test. So yeah, as you can see, the time did arrange after connecting it to the internet. Now let's go to the themes application, and it's actually pretty cool. You can choose between a lot of themes, as you can see right here. And now let's go to the phone app. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple application. And yeah, everything is easily accessible. Now these are the features listed in the quick menu tab. And let's go to the messaging app. As you can see, it's also pretty simple. This is the downloaded browser, and as you can see, it's got some features of its own. And in my opinion, it's actually pretty fast and it doesn't look that bad, honestly. Now if you'd like to open up the Play Store, as you can see right here, I don't have any SIM card installed, and it tells you couldn't sign in, and you can't get it to work by any means. So yes, you will need to insert a nano SIM in SIM slot 1 and not SIM slot 2, as it won't work either, to make it work. So as you can see right here, it does have the MT6750 CPU, it's clocked at 1.51 GHz, and the Mali T860 GPU. Now this is an Antutu benchmark test, and it scored a pretty good score of 38,770. Now this will show you the sensors installed, and it's got a lot of sensors already installed, which are pretty cool. As you can see, it's got the accelerometer sensor. It's got the light sensor as well, which is used for phone calls to dim the display so you won't end the call accidentally. It's got an orientation sensor. And yeah, I skipped the proximity sensor, which I'm very sorry about. And as you can see, it does not have a temperature sensor, and it also has a gyroscope sensor. But as there is written, it seems to be broken, as you can see right there. But it does work in games, so I'm not sure what to think about that. It's also got a sound sensor, which is pretty normal. And the magnetic sensor, which I couldn't really show and work, and it does not have a pressure sensor. Now this is a GPS test, and it's actually pretty good at an accuracy of about 7 feet. Which is pretty nice for a cheap phone like this. Now keep in mind, this was only 93 euros, which is an amazing price for a phone like this. This is the speed test of my Wi-Fi, and it's got pretty good speeds. And this is CPU X, which also shows you the same stuff like Geekbench, with the same CPU and GPU. And as you can see, it's got a total RAM of 1.76 gigabytes, which is also normal, and it's not really 2 gigabytes, but as I said, that is pretty normal. So it's got a multi-touch of about 10 fingers, but it does not work pretty well at the 10 fingers full, as you will see in a moment, and even at 8 fingers it does kind of not register the fingers. As you can see right there. Now let's move on to a video test. microphone, the BM81. Let's get right into the unboxing. And as you can see, you can't hear anything when you put your hand against the speaker. Mine is this type, and yeah, let's just go through the box a bit. Now this is a song test. And as you can clearly see, that doesn't do anything, but that does, so it's only the right side, which is the speaker. So yeah, it doesn't have much bass, but it's pretty good for a cheap phone. And so here is a test on Unreal Racing 3. Now this is, keep in mind, a pretty graphically intensive game, and the phone does cut a bit of corners, and as you can see, it doesn't have the best graphics. But nonetheless, it can play the game pretty smoothly at about 30 FPS most of the time, so not really that smooth, but playable. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, have a great time, and please subscribe for more content like this, gaming videos, and a lot more reviews. So thank you guys for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more. See you guys.